Today we're talking about something small that could actually matter a lot. Your Toyota dealer overfilling your RAV4's oil during a routine change. It sounds simple, but it's a common complaint among RAV4 owners, and it raises a good question. Can too much oil really harm your engine? So here's what happened. A RAV4 owner named DZ noticed that every time he took his SUV in for an oil change, the dipstick showed the level about a centimeter above the full mark when cold and level. He was worried because the Toyota manual clearly says any oil above the high mark is excessive, and that the engine could be damaged. That's not vague language, it's a warning straight from Toyota. But when he asked his dealer, they told him it's fine, and other owners online said the same thing. Some said, a little over won't hurt anything, while others weren't so sure. So who's right? Let's break it down. Oil is your engine's lifeblood. Too little oil means friction, overheating, and wear. But too much can cause foaming, excess pressure, and even damage to seals. According to Topo's car doctor, John Paul, a small amount over the line isn't likely to hurt your engine, but if it's a quart or more over, that's when you can run into trouble. When oil is overfilled to that extent, the crankshaft can whip it into foam, which reduces lubrication and can cause aeration. Basically, your oil starts mixing with air bubbles and stops doing its job right. It can also build too much pressure inside the crankcase, pushing oil past gaskets and seals. The confusing part is that Toyota's manual doesn't define how much too much really is. So when your dipstick shows just a little above the line, you're left guessing whether that's dangerous or not. In the Torque News article, the author said even his GR86 came back from a dealer service slightly overfilled. When he asked about it, the service writer brushed it off as normal. And that seems to be the pattern. Dealers often fill to the high end, or even a little over because it's quicker and safer for them to avoid customer complaints about low oil later. But as an owner, you have every right to expect accuracy. So what should you do? First, check your oil after every service when the car is cold and parked on level ground. If it's just a little high, like a centimeter over, it's probably not urgent. But if it's noticeably above the line or you see foaming or leaks, bring it back and ask them to drain the excess. You can also leave a note on your service order that says, "Do not overfill beyond the full mark." That simple line can save you some frustration. And if you change your own oil, fill to about 80% of the capacity, run the engine for a bit, let it settle, and then top off slowly until it hits the full mark. Now here's my take after more than a decade covering automotive maintenance stories. A small overfill, like what DZ described, is not going to ruin your RAV4 engine. It's more of an annoyance than a disaster. But it's also a sign your dealer may not be paying close attention, and that's what concerns me more. Oil level precision is basic, and if a shop can't get that right, it raises questions about how they handle the rest of your maintenance. In the end, the takeaway is simple. Don't panic, but don't ignore it either. Check your oil yourself, know what the correct level looks like, and hold your service provider accountable. If this happens every time, find a different dealer or independent shop that takes the details seriously. Your RAV4's engine will thank you for it. That's it for today's episode. If you've ever noticed your dealer overfilling your oil, I'd love to hear your story. How much was it over, and what did they say when you brought it up? Leave a comment or share your thoughts with us at Torque News. Thanks for tuning in, take care of your car, and I'll catch you in the next one.